Wait, whoa. As cool as that would be, that's gonna get copyright struck almost immediately. And apparently, people don't even think that we can do this. So, we might as well just beat it. Wait a minute.
They told him, don't you ever come around again. Don't wanna see your face, you better disappear. The fire's in their eyes and their words are really clear. So beat it, just beat it.
City talking, we taking.
Into 3 left long, narrow.
Wanna be up, better do what you can. So beat it, but you wanna be bad, just beat it, beat it. No one wants to beat it. Sure, I'm funky, don't disrupt right. It doesn't matter who's rolled up right. Just
Wanna go on the road. I got what they waiting for. Let the dog get your soul. Just tell them ain't lay low. You was never really rooting for me anyway. When I wake up at the top, I want to hear you say, you don't run from nothing, dog. Get your soul. Just tell them that the break is over.
Hello everyone, CD Racing here, and welcome in for Season 2 of our Dirt Rally 2 Career Mode playthrough. Now, if you guys have been with us for the beginning, you might think naming this Season 2 is a little weird because we've done like 7 different cars in the initial playthrough. But we made it to the hardest difficulty in the game, and the front-wheel drive kit cars fought as hard as we could, and it didn't go fantastic. I think we finished 4th in that season, but we're back, better than ever. And I thought to myself, if we did so bad in a front-wheel drive kit car that's relatively forgiving, surely hopping into a rear-wheel drive Group B monster is a fantastic decision. I never said I was a smart person. So, we're going to go ahead and give our entire engineering staff a complete overhaul. Everybody's getting an upgrade in something, and especially rear-wheel drive knowledge, because we are going to need all the help that we can get as we tackle this new career mode. Even hired the final engineer, draining our bank account. You saw we started this video at like almost 4.5 million, and we're already down to 2.7. But you got to spend money to make money, right? So, new engineer, H. Roy, hoping that he can bring us a success in this new championship. But at the end of the day, it kind of all relies on me, because I don't even need the engineers if I don't hit anything. In a perfect world. So, Season 2, Group B, rear-wheel drive monsters. What's our vehicle of choice? You saw it in the intro. You know what it is. The BMW M1 Pro Car Rally. Mouthful of a car, handful to drive it. But we're going to try our best to get through the season. Looking through the liveries, I thought, man, the default red and white is the best one to go through. No more talking. Let's get to driving. Season 2 in Australia starts right now. Monaro, Australia. Now, last time we were here, I'd rather not talk about it, so we won't. You go watch the video if you want to see me smack it into a tree at 150. But we're going to try and avoid that this time around. Beautiful, scenic rally. Lots of very loose dirt, accompanied with a couple high-speed asphalt sections that can really catch you out, because we are on the dirt tires. So switching from the dirt to the asphalt on these skinny dirt tires, you do not have the grip that you think you do. You have to be very careful with your braking because you will lack up almost instantaneously. But it seems the gods have shown on us just a little bit this weekend. Lots of shorter stages. You see a lot of 4.5 milers, even some back-to-back 3 milers, and then we end it on back-to-back 7.6 mile stages. So the end of this rally is going to be quite the marathon. 2 back-to-back long stages, but everything else is a pretty decent mix of long stages and short stages. This first one, a little over 7 miles, going into a 4-miler for number 2. We're going to see if the soft tires will get through. So through the shakedown, I'm actually not going to talk through this one. Let's just see how I navigate with this car.
2, 1, go. 50, 2 left long, opens over crest to narrow bridge tarmac, into 2 right long, opens back camber, 40, 5 right, into 4 left long, caution tightens over bridge, to gravel, 30, 4 right over crest, into 6 left 80, 6 left long over jump maybe, slow 30, 5 left long, tightens 4. into 5 right of a crest, 30, 3 left tightens, into 3 right long, tightens of a crest, 50, tarmac, crest, into 4 right, opens of a crest, 30, 2 left tightens, don't cut, into 2 right, opens of a narrow bridge, 80. To stop, well done.
All right, so you can see almost immediately this car is a handful, very difficult to control. It's going to be hard to follow the ideas of steering with your feet because you got to fight this thing a lot. But I think we'll get there. Even throughout the recording of this video, I felt myself getting a lot more comfortable with the car. But looking at our competition,
we are cooked. Yeah, we are absolutely cooked, chat. GG.
yeah, GG's indeed. No one told me that you're getting thrown in with the 4-wheel drive guys. I mean, I guess it's historically accurate, but come on, man, this is going to be insane. So, realizing we're going to have to lock in a lot more than I thought we were going to initially. It's going to be okay. It's the first rally. I know it's a long season. I learned that last time. Every rally counts. A lot of people swap positions. Everything is up for grabs. So I think if we just keep a level head, get through the first stage, let's see how we tackle it. 7 miles of Australian madness in the Group B rear-wheel drive BMW. Commentary all the way. Let's get it. Count me down, Patty. I don't know why we're sitting here for so long. I'm antsy. Lights count up. Get ready to drop it. We're going to dump the clutch on this exit and just get this car in motion. Flick it in for the 2 left. Now, we did this section in the shakedown and trying to over-adjust for how much I sent it into that corner. Already off to a pretty rough start. Now, this section right here is exactly what I was talking about. High-speed asphalt sections on skinny dirt tires. It's sketchy. You got to watch your input a lot. You see me kind of just throwing the wheel back and forth to coerce the car to actually move the direction I wanted to steer. Last season, I complained all day, every day about the abhorrent understeer that we had to deal with in that front-wheel drive kit car. Now, we are forcing oversteer every corner. Look at that. You got to get that front end turned in really well if you want to power out of these corners as early as possible, just like that. Back onto the asphalt, watching your braking. You see the car slide the second you kind of push the G-force on a lateral angle. The car is going to lose it every time. The ass end is going to swing out a lot. And I know, in this game specifically, that does contribute to your tire wear. So we want to minimize that as much as we can. But we're up 1 second. At the end of the first split, we are up 1 second. Now, I don't know if that's in relative running order. I know we're starting like 45th in the running order. So I don't think that means first place, but it's promising. And we're going to keep it going. 6 left into 5 right. Into 3 left, don't cut. Watch your braking here. Get ready to flick it in for that 3 left. Just like that. Getting a little too close to the inside there. You see the car rocking around. That's something that you're going to see all episode, folks. You have to walk that line between sending it in aggressively so that the front end is pointed where you want it to be so you can power out early, and sending it in too hard and either spinning out or hitting something on the inside. I mean, there are a lot more things you have to look out for when you're tackling a stage in a Group B car, but that's probably one of the bigger ones. Your initial entry angle. You see right there, I came in too shallow on the entrance, and I'm just fighting it the entire way through the corner because your front wheels, they really don't have grip. It's more like a suggestion as to where the front end of the car is supposed to go, and you use the rear wheels to power you through these corners. Just like this, you see a little shallow, you'll hear me just dump my right foot and get those rear wheels spinning so that we can power through the corner. It's only going to get better, I would assume, as we get more used to the car. But early goings here, the pace seems strong. We're tackling the notes pretty well. You see one hell of a drift through there. That was an intro clip, in case you couldn't tell. We nailed that one pretty well. Into the 3 right, into 2 left opens. It's interesting to tackle these. 2 left opens, you're going to be slow, but then you power out as soon as you clear that corner because you know it's going to open up for you. Now, right here, I missed a couple calls. We had consecutive 6s at Titans 2. I just heard 6 Titans 2, so I'm riding the inside line here like, where the hell is this 2 left? Finally found it. Power out accordingly. Probably lost like a second there, which is not ideal with the competition that we are up against. In case y'all forgot, we are still on the hardest difficulty in the game, so every single mistake, every corner that we mess up is going to add up over the course of the rally because those top 3 guys every weekend are going after it but we are too. We're holding solid angles through here right now. 5 right tightens, then opens into 80. Watch your entrance. When it says tightens and opens, I just try to take a traditional racing line. Kind of works out in your favor like that. 6 left into 5, 80. I'm going to get a little bit of a braking here and a downshift because right here, into the 2 right. I have driven the stage a couple of times. I'm not 100% listening to the calls. There is a slight bit of memorization into these stages on my end, and I'm not going to apologize for it. These guys are hard. No diddy. 5-second advantage at this moment in time. It's looking promising. I won't speak too soon. We've got a square right here. See if we get the car slowed down. You see me fighting the angle. Wheels lock up in our advantage. Slides the car in, power out accordingly, and just get those front wheels spinning again. And now, this section right here. This is Forest section for the rest of the stage, and you'll see the effect take almost immediately on my driving. I'm not sending it into these corners as wildly as I was beforehand because these trees, these cliffs, they will catch you off guard quickly, and I'd rather not spend every second in the repair station fixing my car like last season. So we're going to play it a little more careful in these sketchy sections. You see this entire section for the rest of the stage, you are either faced with smacking a tree or a cliff, and it's a very narrow road. We'll catch back up with the calls here through this very tight section. Swing it around this final corner. 6 right over crest long, and you'll notice I'm not going to keep it pinned. I'm not going to go anything crazy. 3 right tightens. Again, just watching the car. I can go faster through here. It's possible to do so, but in this career mode, you only get 1 shot, and right there, you drift towards the edge of the stage for a second, and it gets very sketchy. The gap is now down to 2 seconds, so we are losing quite a bit of time. I probably should be driving a little bit more on the edge, but in order to finish first you must finish, and I'm going to keep on to that mentality throughout the entire season. I know that it just takes 1 mistake to smack a tree at 150 because we did it like twice last season. So going through about 3/4 of the way through this stage, we're going to see if the gap in this tight section is still just dropping rapidly. 123 right tightens into 1. Luckily, the braking's in an uphill. You can brake very late, swing it around this corner. We're getting the angles of the car down pretty well. You can't drift this car on every single corner. It is a mid-engine vehicle, so if you get too much of an angle, especially on your initial turn-in, you're going to be fighting like crazy or spinning out, and that's obviously not ideal. And there it is. I spoke about going too shallow. Too shallow on that entrance. We clipped that tree pretty hard, but we just immediately move on. If the car runs, we guns. That's our saying, and it feels okay. At this moment in recording, I didn't feel anything crazy damage-wise to the vehicle, so we truck along. Oh my god, the gap is now 6 seconds. We went from almost leading by 6 seconds to losing by 6 seconds. It happens that quick, y'all. I'm telling you, this entire season is going to be a battle. 6 left into 70. Watch your entrance here. 70 into the 5 left. You're just going to flick it in. You know you've got that little bit of an entrance there. 5 right tightens 2. Watch your braking. Luckily, again, on an uphill. It's going to tighten a little bit. You see me drifting out wide. 50 into 1 left. Braking in the downhill. A little sketchy. Grabbing handbrake. Still getting a little too close to the inside there. You're fighting the car the whole time. Once again, getting too close to those trees on the inside. If I spoke about every hazard that we're dealing with out on these stages, I don't think I have enough tongues to speak that rapidly. So you guys know. If you guys have been here for long enough, you know what I'm dealing with here. But it's more getting through the stages in one piece. And we get to the end of this not dirt section, the desert. What the hell am I talking about? We get to the end of the woods section. I'm not even driving the car and my mental is already exhausted. 50 into 2 right. It's going to open up a little bit for us here. Not literally, but as far as the stage itself. It's going to start getting a little bit wider. There's going to be less hazards on the side of the road. Immediately using that to my advantage, drifting out wide on that corner right there. 4 right into 5 left. Tightens 4 over crest. Watch your entrance. There's that little mini crest on the corner. Tightens accordingly. Into 3 right opens. 6 right 30. Now we've got some speed on us. 6 right 30. 5 left. Don't cut. Into 6 right opens over big jump. Watch your angle here. Crazy landing very close to the cliff there. Just hold my breath every time we go over those jumps because you cannot change your direction in the air. Your ascending angle is where you're landing. Again, massive jump here. Just hoping that you have the right angle. Slow it down here for a 3 right tightens. Just watching it in. Get your trail braking down. Make sure your heel toes are on point so you don't miss a gear. 3 right into 4 left. Opens 50. ideally would have swung a little bit more to the right so we can just power out early, but we have enough space. I told you the stage kind of widens in this section. 6 right over jump into 50, 80 over finish, essentially. A massive jump in the end there. 9-second differential. 9-second diff against the hardest AI in the game after a little bit of a shunt. We will take that. Only 3 red sections. First time competing in the car.
I hope the tires are okay.
P Mills hopes the tires are okay. Oh my god, my engine's smoking. Not ideal. 8th place over the stage. Not bad. Last season, after a stage like that, we're like 22nd. So I think our pace when we don't smack trees is pretty solid. 8:05, first time out. You see the top 3 cars are the BMW, so I think I made the right choice as far as competitiveness goes. And speaking of competitiveness, let's load into the end of Stage 2 and see how we did. And now we're not going to follow Stage 2, in case you don't remember. These rallies are now 12 stages long, and if I voiced over every single one of them, these episodes would be like 2.5 hours each. So, if you want to see me talk over every single stage, I can, but it'll probably have to start becoming a part 1, part 2 series per rally. However, 6th place in Stage 2, so a little bit of an improvement. Didn't shunt that rally, and for grins, I checked the overall results, and we are 63rd. Yeah, the Group B 4-wheel drive cars are in a different class. Thank God, because they are ridiculously faster compared to us. However, 2 stages in, 8th place and 6th place for the first rally in the car. We will take that. Like I said in the beginning, it's a long season. Every rally matters, and the AI does fluctuate quite a bit at, like, per location, so it's not over, not by a long shot. Going into this service station, soft tires, very worn down, and that's after a 7-miler and a 4-miler. However, these next 2 are back-to-back 4-milers, so I had faith in the soft tires. But I didn't have faith in was my ability to fix the car correctly, because it's a little jacked up. I didn't hit anything major in Stage 2. You're going to have to just take my word on that. All of this damage is just from that shunt with the tree in Stage 1. So, turns out this car is very, very fragile. I don't know if I just got some weird RNG with how much damage was done to the car for how hard I hit the tree, or if we have a very sensitive season on our hands. Now, the lights I viewed as a necessity, but everything else that I was ready to fix was also a necessity in my eyes. So I had a choice: fix the lights and take a 5-second penalty, or risk going into this next stage and not being able to see. And you saw me check the stages real quick. One of these is at dusk, so I'd rather be able to see than have faith that I shouldn't take the 5-second penalty and end up just scrubbing it up in the dark. So, going into the second little stint of this rally, we are 8th place. Not fantastic, but it's going to get better. Spoiler alert, I know, but I'm not going to make y'all watch this episode thinking that we're going to scrub it up the entire time. So, Stage 3, things start to get a little bit better. Let's load in.
Starts 50, 2 left long, opens over crest into narrow bridge. Good luck.
Love when he says good luck before the stage. Makes me feel a little bit safer. J. Martin, 350. Let's see how we do in Stage 3. Now, you'll recognize this stage. It's just the first half of the one that we just actually narrated. So, have any improvements been made? We will see. Over the bridge section, you see the first couple corners already off to a much better start. Over this asphalt section, things remain pretty much the same. You stake to the right-hand side as much as you can to shoot over this bridge, back into the dirt, 4 right, into 6 left, 80. Just swing the ass end out, set yourself up with a little bit of a straight line that you do have. 30, it's a 5 left long, tightens forward. Now, when you hear a corner called long and tightens, what you're going to do is set yourself up for the initial corner that was called, but come in a little hot, because you're going to need that angle for just that bit longer, and then you'll usually see where the corner tightens into the whatever they called you. Right there, it was the 5 tightens 4. You see that the corner just gets a little bit sharper at the edge, but you prepared for that by having your angle extended for the long call. I know it's a little confusing, but when you're driving it, it'll make a lot of sense. Now, through these tarmac sections on dirt tires, if I could give you any tips, watch your braking a lot. These don't have much grip. The amount of friction that they can hold on tarmac is not much. Right there, you see how little steering input I'm putting on. This car has aero, and the tires are just squealing the entire time. We are sliding. So when you're on tarmac in these dirt tires, you almost have worse grip than you do on dirt. I know that's hard to believe, but that's kind of how it works. Now, throughout this section right here, we've done this before. 5 right, tightens 4. Once again, hold your angle a little bit longer, then it tightens, and you just tap your brakes, send it in. 30 over crest into 80. Haven't heard any directional calls, so we know we can just send it straight over. 60 into 4 right, tightens into 4 left, opens. So watch your 4 left, right. Doesn't really tighten that much in my opinion, but I appreciate the call anyways. Over these crests, over these corners, it's good. Sometimes I'll talk over the little bits that P Mills throws in there. Sometimes he'll say blind or unseen, 4 right unseen. All that means is that there is a 4 right coming, but from the position of the car, you're probably not going to see that corner. Those are the moments where you really need to trust. Damn, what a drift. Not to get distracted, but y'all see that corner? Anyways, as I was saying, whenever there are blind corners or just corners that you can't see in general, I have stressed this a million times and I'm going to stress it again. Your co-driver is your best friend. They are not going to lie to you. Now, in this game specifically, there are certain tracks where the calls aren't the best, but it still helps a lot. Whenever they say unseen or maybe or any time a call is preceded with caution, just tap the brakes just a little bit, or just be more alert as to what's coming, because it's going to usually end in a rapid change of direction, a rapid slowing, or a corner that you can't see, and you just have to trust the call as you send it through. That third one is the realm that we're dealing with a lot this season. These Group B cars, even if you're not the greatest at driving them, have the capability of being so ridiculously fast out on stage, and they're a handful. You saw me lose the ass end of this car twice in the same corner, because as soon as you get back on the gas when you already have angle, it just swings out. These rear tires have almost 500 horsepower flowing through them. It's a lot. So when you hear calls coming up, you have to trust them, you have to trust the car, and proceed as planned. Not that you ever really have a plan in rally. You just take it one corner at a time and hope that you finish. And speaking of finish, we're almost there. I know I yapped through most of the stage. It's kind of become a tradition here for the second stage to be like a technical breakdown of what we're going to do. So yeah, for this season, watch a lot. For me, just trusting in the calls through a lot of crazy blind corners and managing my throttle, because the rear end of this car is going to be fighting us all day, every day. Now, we finished 7 seconds ahead of Jay Martin, but I know we're about 8th place in the rally right now. So as long as we're higher than 8th, I'll consider that stage a win. 3rd! Whoa! Holy crap. All right, that's a podium in that stage. So it was fast for a reason. That moves us up to 7th in the standings. We have a new standard, and look how close that is. Very close. Just minor improvements over the next couple stages, and we're already in 4th place. So, told you guys the rally is looking up. Can we keep that momentum going? Stage 4, Yambula Mountain Descent. 4.13 miles. The stage looks a little straight. It's a lie. It's the opposite of the forest section that we did in the first stage. We'll see how we do. D Lane, current stage leader, at a 412.6. Holding the revs, launching on asphalt. Is that going to change how we come away? No, it is not. Dumping the clutch, spinning the wheels at the start. My mentality there was that it's going to warm up the tires, but I don't know if that makes a difference once you're on the dirt. But, you know, it's working so far. 6 right, over jump, caution, 2 left tightens. So lose a little bit of speed over the blind 6. You know the 2 left tightens is coming up. Make sure you slow down enough to get that car rotated in. 4 right, into 3 left, opens 50. 6 left, 80, over big jump. Big jump indeed. Look at this one, folks. Let's just watch the run up here into 5th gear. Watch your angle. Yeah, that's the spine snapper if I've ever seen one. 5 right into 3 left, narrows 50 into another big jump. Watch the stage, it does get a little tighter. Over the big jump, back to back. If we don't have suspension wear after these, or at the next service station, I will be shocked. 5 left, tightens 3. Again, as I said earlier, you're supposed to hold your angle wider as you go into those corners. Didn't hear that, and you saw me kind of shunt that one. Didn't hit anything, but I came in way too shallow on that left-hander, and it just unsettles you for the next couple of corners until you can find your rhythm again. Right around here, when I exit this corner, I would say we're back 30 into 2 right tightens and narrows, so watch your braking. It is an uphill. Didn't swing the car around enough. You see me drifting towards the outside. That's going to happen every time. I told y'all, the initial turn-in angle is very important for these vehicles. In traditional motor racing on a track, you do not want to be drifting almost at all. It wears your tires, it's not faster, but in these dirt sections, you know, rally racing a rear-wheel drive vehicle, if you're not throwing the ass end of the car out to force the vehicle to turn in, you're not even going to make these corners. Right here, I didn't come in with a heavy angle, and look how slowly I have to crawl around these corners, as opposed to this one, come in with an angle and just floor it towards the end, and we come out every time. Now, there was a little bit of a brush-in with the cliff there. That's never going to be ideal, and if I can go on a mini rant, I hate these cliffs. Not even specifically in Australia, but any rally stage where you have a solid wall to your right, if you clip that in the slightest capacity with your car, it's like there's a magnet that just sucks your car in. And it's so hard to get your car off of that wall without shaving significant time or just hoping that you get bounced back off of it and then you take damage. So, ideally, never hit the wall in the first place, but easier said than done when you're wrestling a 500 horsepower 80s BMW through a rally stage. We'll see how we fare for the rest of the stage. So far, nothing overtly terrible. I know when we did this in the opposite, this wasn't the best stage for us, and oh my god, we almost did it again. As soon as I say that I'm doing well, I crash almost every time. 2 right into 2 left 50. Again, navigating this okay. I think I'm getting a lot more comfortable with the car at this point, and this part of the stage specifically. I know it's a narrow road, but if you listen to the calls and know the angle that you should be carrying into these corners, you can still maintain a lot of speed, and I'm trying my best to do that right here. 4 right into 3 left, I believe. Okay, yeah, here it is. Short 3 left opens over 90. So when you hear short, you should actually keep a decent amount of your speed and just throw it in there. I was a little bit tentative right there. I slowed the car down quite a bit because I saw the cliff on our right-hand side. Didn't want to understeer off of that. Again, you really only get 1 shot per stage in career mode. The game gives you 5 restarts, but that's boring. I don't like winning that way. I like to do it the real way, which is why I've had so many episodes where I receive terminal damage and total the car. Again, trying not to do that this weekend, and we're managing it pretty well. You saw that was a power slide throughout that corner basically the entire time, but there was no input on the steering wheel. That would be ideal for most of these corners. If I can find my initial turn-in angle perfectly and then only use my feet throughout the corner, that is the most consistent and quickest way to get through these corners. But I mean, rally is just so unpredictable. The car itself is so powerful. I don't see that happening every stage, let alone every corner. But we're going to try our best. Most of it's going to look like what you see right now, the steering wheel going back and forth, ass end of the car just swinging as we drive it. But for right now, felt like a pretty solid stage. Only a 0.2 second gap to delaying. We'll see how that actually fares once everyone has crossed the line.
Did the tyres perform okay in that stage?
Only thing he has to ask is how the tires are doing. I mean, it doesn't matter anyways. The service station is right now. 4th place. Only 1 second behind 3rd. That's back-to-back solid stages. As far as the overall standings, that does move us all the way up to 5th with a 5-second gap to 4th. We are so up right now. I don't know how many of y'all have been here since the very beginning. I'm talking like the DS21 early days. But anyone that's been watching this since before like the Subaru Impreza season, you might find yourself a little shocked that I'm happy over 3rd and 4th place in a stage. But if last season taught us anything, you take what you give. Not only is the difficulty of these drivers this season ridiculous, I haven't done any leaderboard checks yet because I've actually been faring quite well and I don't want to hurt my feelings, but God, that angle is so sick. We're going to leave this here as I yap for a second and just witness the car go around so you can see what it's like from the outside. In case you feel like from the inside perspective we're not going that fast, this is what it looks like from the inside, from the outside. We are hauling. But anyways, it's a long season. We know that going in, and we're going to try our absolute hardest to keep the mental up and just stay focused on one stage, one event at a time, and it might end pretty well for us. So far, I know this rally's far from over, but we have a pretty solid pace. Currently sitting in 5th. We're only getting better. Stages 5 and 6, not really that much to write about, if I'm being completely honest. So, stage 7 is where we will be back. Now, going into this, we are 5th in the standings. The momentum is there. Let's see how we fare at the end of stage 6. Yeah, so stage 6 didn't go so well. Stage 7, you'll notice it's called Bondi Forest, which is why so much of the information is redacted. But stage 7 and 8 we're going to see if we can just do a little bit better. We haven't fallen too far in the standings. Like I said, everyone flips their positions at these stages pretty frequently. So as long as the overall pace is good, we still have a chance. How does stage 7 go? L. Thompson, stage leader, 3:53. How do we fare? Lights go up, holding the revs, getting ready to drop the clutch. Now, I will say the clutch in this car is a lot more forgiving than I thought it was going to be. If you haven't driven Dirt Rally 2 on a wheel, I feel like the clutch per car changes as far as how sensitive it is, how easy it is to hit downshifts. I did not expect this car to be this easy to drive or consistently hit heel toes in, but we've been doing all right. So, 5 left opens, or tightens, then opens into 6. Long sweeping corner here. Just hold your angle. Getting a little frisky on the outside there, but we finally have a new stage. This is not just a section that we have driven before. This is a completely different part of Australia, and we're going to see how we tackle it. Careful of that corner that closes down on a cliff. 4 left over crest into 40. Watch your turn and angle here. Again, this is one of those sections where you have a cliff on your inside, and it's very intimidating. You'll see me riding the edge closer to the trees because it's easier to risk it with those trees on the outside of the stage than smacking the cliff. Trust me. So, 5 left, into 5 right, into 5 left, over crest. Again, just watch your speed. We can hold more speed through these corners, but it's very intimidating with these so many hazards around us. 6 right, over jump, 100 into square right. So get the car slowed down. Try not to lock up the brakes in this slowing down section. It was a downhill, but we managed to do it okay. 5 left, into 4 right, opens over crest. So when you hear opens, power out early. You know it's going to open up for you. 3 left, tightens 2. Should have come in at a wider angle because you know that corner tightens up, but we still held decent speed through there. Another 2 right this time. Just hold your drift angle through there. Power out as soon as you think that it's going to open up for you. And it looks like we're navigating the stage okay. Red in the first sector, but not by much. You'll see the class leader's little icon on the left little track map is not that far ahead of us. Sketchy landing over the crest there. Managed to keep it out of the wall and just navigating the rest of the stage. Jump into 200 tarmac. Massive jump indeed. Holding all of the speed. We got a tarmac section right here. Hold your angle over the tarmac. Again, you see the ascent of the car swing out so quickly when you start to pull G's on those asphalts. Oh my God. Little sketchy over the junk. Kept control of the 360 and powered out. Lucky to come away there without any damage. And I've spoken on this before. If you have any sort of jump or a crest call and you are doing anything more than 45 miles an hour, try your absolute hardest to not have steering angle when you take off from that corner because you can't steer the car in midair. That's exactly what happened right there. We had way too much momentum going over that. Luckily, came away with a pretty clean looking 360, but we definitely lost time there. 6 right over 80, back into gravel, 30 into 4 right tightens. So watch your speed here. The grip is going to fall away here, getting close to the fence on the outside. Lucky not to hit it. 4 right, tightens 30. Again, watch your speed coming in here. Lucky that the stage opens up a little bit there on the left-hand side. And once again, avoiding the fence. 2 left, tightens over a bridge. Once again, asphalt sections, watch your throttle. It's going to slip out on you. We have a 0.2 of a second gap to the stage leader right now with 1 section to go. 30 into 30 into square right. Watch your braking over asphalt. Lock up the front tires did happen there, but it actually lets us rotate the car just a little bit better. 30 into dip. Did not see the call. 5 right into 5 left. Again, these calls come very, very rapidly. I don't know how well I'm going to be able to keep up with them for the narration part of these videos because we are hauling ass. However, for the important ones or something that I know is going to happen, like this is not the video lagging. Your internet connection is fine, I promise you. Dirt Rally 2 decided to shit itself midway through the stage. Wow, everything's going wrong. But yes, that was not your audio or video player's fault, I promise. In the middle of the stage, Dirt Rally 2 just decided to give me 1 frame every 3 seconds, and I almost cried. It was a very scary moment. I was going very fast, but luckily I did not crash, kept control of the car, 150 over finish, and how did we do? 0.5 of a second gap to the stage leader. How did we do compared to everyone else? I see a little
Stage
finger
finished.
wag.
Well done.
And we got well done from the co-drivers. Is that a top 3 finish? Top 3. That's what I'm talking about. Only 3 seconds off of the top finisher. With a spin out mid-stage, the pace is still here, ladies and gentlemen. I think we have a chance. Still sitting in 5th, 2-second gap to 4th, and almost 11 seconds to 3rd. So finishing on the podium might be out of reach unless we have quite the comeback or someone else falls off. But we are still sitting in a very good place 7 stages in. Going into stage 8, we have the momentum. This is a shorter one. This is Norrenby Ridge Descent. Let's hope we drive it better than we attempt an Australian accent and ignore the fact that the front of our car says penis. Now, big stage ahead. Forget everything that you just heard. A lot of information just came at you. The only thing that matters now is the drive. Somewhat of a dark stage in front of us. Don't remember this one has a lot of forest, but we're going to figure out right now. 3 right Titans, 2 right. That's 2 separate calls, ladies and gentlemen. 3 right Titans, a little bit of a straightening out, and then a 2 right. I know it's hard to tell between just 3 right Titans 2. Sometimes you can kind of take it the same way, but if you're min-maxing these runs, every differentiation, is that how you say that? Differentiation of the calls? I hope that's how you say it. Anyways, every little part of the call is important. 5 right extra long Titans 4. Again, 5 right extra long. You should hold this angle for a while before it tightens 4. I didn't, and you see me have to correct the car back to the outside a couple times throughout that corner. It's okay though. We're all right, keeping decent pace. Almost already at the end of split 1, even though we're in a forest section. This is actually a pretty quick one. Almost lost the end right there. Had to slam the brakes and lock up the fronts in order to get the car, re-rotated back the way that we wanted to go. So, still haven't lost that much time. Only 0.7 to the stage leader, which for a forest section that we have not been that great at this weekend, we will take that. Over a big junction, back into the forest section. Now, this is not the same forest section and junction that we have done before. Oh my God. Getting so close to these trees, even when I'm not driving, my butthole puckers watching some of this footage. It's very sketchy, this rally. You have a lot of trees around you, and you go deceivingly fast the entire time, fighting the car so much. More in these forest sections do I become reminded how much of a wild horse this car is. When you get this thing up to speed, anything 4th or 5th gear, it's not as snappy. It's not going to lose all of the traction anytime you press the gas, and I feel like the aero on the car does do something. It makes the car a little bit more planted. Here in these low speed sections, every little extra ounce of throttle input that you give changes the characteristics of these cars, and unfortunately, I spoke earlier about these cliffs being magnets, tapped it with the rear end, and just had to fight it the whole way, and then I lost my rhythm, for sure. Coming into that corner, it didn't throw the car in. You saw me just struggle through there. Even through this one, struggled to get the car turned in and had a very low speed through that one. Again, we're going to hope that we can get it back up. Speed's going to come back up a little bit here. 6 left into 5 right. So sketchy. Co-driver did not call bumps over that section, and that was kind of a dick move, I'm not going to lie. I probably at some point this weekend could have made a suspension adjustment to make the rebound and dampening a little bit less severe, because you see the car is rocking a lot for how bumpy these stages are. I probably should have just made the suspension softer across the board, but I left it on the default tune, if I haven't already mentioned that, and I kind of thought if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's the first rally, we're doing okay, we're managing okay. But hindsight 2020, if you're coming to Australia in a Group B car or any car, the default tune is probably too stiff as far as the suspension goes. Loosen that thing up. There are so many bumps here, some that don't get called, like you just saw, and it really throws you off. So, don't be me, be better than me. 4 right into 3 left. Watch the switcheroo here is what you would do if you weren't fighting the car from hitting the fences. Now, this has not been the best stage from us aesthetically. We've been very close to the walls, had a couple brush-ins, but left-hand side of the track map, we're green almost across the board. 2 of the last sectors have been good. Almost got into the fence right there. We were able to get the front end turned in. 3 right Titans, 2. Watch your angle. Saw me tap the brakes a couple times to get the rear end rotated in, and then get ready to flick it in for the square left. Had to grab handbrake to get the end swung out. 5/10 behind the stage leader. L. Thompson has been finishing decently high, so we're near his time. I have faith that it's still good enough to keep us in contention. I think anything above a top 5 finish this weekend is something to be hopeful for, or something to be proud of, given the difficulty of the car, given how ridiculous this AI is at this stage. I think we're doing good. And that is 5th place, exactly what we needed. 5th place in the standings, 3/10 behind D. Lang. A couple of those brush-ins with the cliffs probably could have gotten us almost 3rd place there. We honestly could have gotten 2nd in that stage, but we are now 4th in the standings. I told you guys, one cool thing about the hardest difficulty, everyone fluctuates. So if I'm consistently finishing 4th, I'm still climbing the overall event times. Now, story time. Stage 9, 10, and 11. Nothing particularly awful happened. It was just stages. I didn't have any major accidents. None of them were spectacular, to say the least, but for the sake of time, we are going to skip them. So, we'll look right now at what the stages are, and we're going to hop back on for the last stage to see how we round out this championship. But of course, going into stage 12, how were we faring? So, this is the end of stage 11, crossing the finish line here. 5.5 seconds behind the stage leader. Not our greatest stage, but over the course of a little over 7.5 miles, a 5-second gap is not terrible. We'll see how we fare right now. We see a little hand wave.
But let's check the times.
Oh, that's a wishy-washy answer from the co-driver. I'm not sure what that means. 4th place over that stage. Not bad. How are we holding up in the standings, though? 3rd place. That's right. We have climbed to 3rd place in the standings. Considerable gap to 4th place. 7 seconds to 2nd. Going into stage 12, do we hold 3rd place is the biggest question. If we drop to 4th, I won't be mad. If we get to 2nd, I'll be elated. But as long as we don't absolutely fumble the bag, we should be okay. Is this foreshadowing? Let's find out, huh? Stage 12, final stage, Chandler's Creek, 7.6. I'm not going to say that out loud. I'm sorry, you're not going to get it from me. Ignore the fact that the car is clean. I had to go move my car in real life because my roommate had to leave for work, and I shut down the game, and for some reason when you load it back up, your car is not dirty. I don't know why that happens, but here we are. Final stage, almost 8 miles separating us from a potential podium. How do we tackle it? Immediate square right into 3 left crest opens, into 5 right long, tightens 2 opens. Quite the series of calls coming at the beginning of this stage. But we're navigating it okay. You see a lot of camber on these corners. Again, the calls here in Australia, sometimes I feel like they're lacking. A lot of times I feel like the bumps should be called. Some of these corners have a lot of very aggressive camber that you can use to your advantage, but they don't come in. So the map knowledge plays a little bit of a factor here as far as how fast I'm able to go this weekend. Crazy flick back, trying to make that switch back for the 4 right. End up tapping the fence on the left-hand side, already losing a little bit of time. Luckily with these longer stages, it does feel like the AI drives realistically as well, because I'm sure this is a crazy closing down section. Managed to get the car slowed down and thrown around that 3 right. But like I was saying, I feel like I'm pretty confident we won't be leading at the end of this sector after that tiny little mishap, and especially with that one. There it is, 1.3 seconds. However, if I drive on edge like I'm about to do right now, high speed through the forest section, maximum trust in the calls and the car, this is about 100 miles an hour before I hit the brakes right there in between this forest. I should get some time back here. The AI won't always drive as aggressively per sector. They make genuine mistakes sometimes, so never give up in the middle of the stage. In fact, if it wasn't for the sake of commentary and letting you as the viewer know what the gap is like midway through the stage, I would have mid-stage updates on time turned off, because sometimes it's really easy to get in your head after a couple bad sectors and think, oh my god, I'm down 10 seconds, this stage is a wash. Let's just slow it down and play it safe, right? No. Always go fast. The sun rises every day, and you will too. Keep your head up high every single stage. Even if you spin out. You saw a couple stages ago, I spun out mid-stage and still finished like a 1.5 seconds behind the top guy or something like that. It's always possible. You see immediately, green sector in that last one. So, we are back. W mentality, hopefully W podium if we continue this pace. And as soon as I say that, understeer into this longer corner. Would have been ideal to just drift around that entire thing, but we're going to keep it going. And now into a forest section. Again, cliff on our right-hand side. You're going to see me drive very cautiously to avoid that at all costs. Already tapping it just a little bit because I swung wide through that corner. 5 right. Over what? We don't know. 5 right, 6 left into 30, over crest into 6 right. Watch your angle here. Whenever you see a crest in Australia, it's basically a jump. You have very rapid hills here, so always pay attention to the direction of the call following a crest or a jump, because you need to have your angle ready for liftoff as soon as you go over that thing. 3 left into 50. Slow the car down just a little bit. We did not listen to the 40 call. That's something I'm having a little bit of trouble with too, if I had to be honest with myself. The distance calls. You see right here, 5 right into crest, 30 into 6 right. There's 30 meters of stage before the 6 right pops up. Now at that speed, doesn't really much, but this corner right here, 2 right tightens into square right into 1 left. So we're just gonna drift the car swing it back with the momentum would have been ideal, but we didn't have the speed to do that. We would have hit the inside of the stage. So you see me just fighting the car after multiple adjustments. I was going to try and talk about how I'm not managing the distance as well, and now we have back-to-back corners right here. Okay, you know what? Let me just stop crashing. Let me lock in. Let me just reach into the cockpit, slap past me. Tell him to lock in. Over the bridge. 4 right, into 5 left, opens and tightens, into 6 left. Watch your exit for the 6 left, power out early. You know it's a 6 left, it's going to open up the stage. There it is, once it opens up for you. 30, into 5 left, 30. Right here, 5 left, 30 meters of stage before the 5 right. You saw me turning right already, and look, I have to adjust to not hit the inside of the stage. Finally, got a decent example to showcase that I'm not really doing that great. Learn from my mistakes, y'all. Those distance calls can really help you min-max these stages, really let you know when you need to hit the brakes. Right here, jump into 30, into 30, into 5 right. So we have 60 meters in total before the 5 left, into 5 right almost immediately, into 5 left almost immediately. And when the calls come like this, we're driving them well. I'm just reacting corner to corner, 6 left into 60, over jump. Now we know we got to jump and 100 meters to slow it down for that square right. So I'm on the brakes as soon as we land, and then power out into the asphalt. Get a little bit of a grip advantage for a second, and just in a straight line now, and back into the dirt section. 3 left, tightens 2. We've done this section before. Without the forest section from before, I did choose hard tires at this stage because we had back-to-back almost 8-mile stages, and I did not want them to fall off. But that means that over the course of this entire stage, we have not had the best grip. When you choose the hard tires, specifically in this game, you're just choosing to have consistently mediocre tires. They will never fall off. You will have the same amount of grip from the start of stage 1 to the end of stage 2. However, the grip is pretty mid. You see me fighting the car a lot, even in sections that aren't that high speed. You see right here, slowing it down for the 4 right. Look at the angle, drifting into that corner, and we didn't even have that much steering input on the car. It's just, they're not the great. 6 right, over jump, into 50. Watch your angle, didn't spin out that time, already improving. 6 right, into 5 right. Watch it for the slowing down just a little bit as the corner tightens, into 4 right. Flick the car in, and you see me have to be a little passive to not hit that wall on the right-hand side. So we're going to keep it going. 30 into square left. Watch your braking on the asphalt. I've talked about this many times. You see me just tapping the brake pedal. It's so easy to lock up there. Get the rear end swung out to power out as early as possible. We are making good times. On the left-hand side, you'll see we are 3 and 3 as far as green sectors and red sectors. So it's a very tight stage. This section right here, 4 right tightens. Make sure you get it turned in early. 4 right tightens over crest. Slow it down once again. Look for that to tighten up. I open up the steering wheel for a second, and I swung out wide. That's going to happen every now and then, and sometimes you just need to trust the angle of the car. I probably, once again, could have tuned the car to have a little bit more camber to help me maintain angle just that little bit easier. But there were a couple times this weekend that I corrected the wheel mid-corner, and the car swung out wide just a little bit. And you see me on the exit of the corner have to work hard to not hit a wall or just fall off the stage. Trust the angle of the car sometimes. You can drift these cars. That's kind of what you're supposed to do. Just, we'll call them power slides. You want to drift with gusto in these rally cars. And as we round the end of this monstrous stage, we did have another green sector, but pace for the final half of this stage has been absolutely rapid. I know I've been talking over it and trying to keep up with the calls, so I haven't mentioned it much, but we have been hauling ass this entire stage. 30 into 50 into 6 left. This section is very sketchy. Lots of bumps. Supposed to be high speed, but our suspension setup just did not have the dampening to take it as fast as we can. So we're going to play it a little safe. 150 over finish. Just keep it on the stage. Foot to the floor to finish it out. Only 3.5 seconds behind the stage leader. For a stage that long, again, we will take that. How did we do?
How did the car feel in that stage? Do you want to make any setup changes at the next service?
Oh my god, I think P-Mills is going senile. That's the end of the rally, buddy. But we got... Oh, okay, calm down. 3rd in the stage. Where did we finish overall? Give me a podium. Give me a podium. Let's go! That's a podium. We are so back. Group 1 rear-wheel drive, hardest difficulty, podium and the first rally, and our car still says penis. But we don't care, because that right there shows that we've got what it takes. That shows that this season we can be in the fight the entire way. Hardest difficulty doesn't matter. But what does matter is that that is going to be the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys made it to the end, as always, I love you guys that do. In fact, if you made it to the end of the video, let's go ahead and hear... Oh, this should be a good one. If you made it to the end of the video, go ahead and put in the comments Group B Madness, and I'll know what you're talking about. And as you can see, 3rd place in the championship. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to heel toe that like and subscribe combo. And as always, I will see you in the next one.